So, Toastmaster Tawfiq, you can send the link to him on the number.
Our recording is stopped or in progress?
It's alternating, actually.
Looks like you are keeping me on the spot. So, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and viewers. My name is Mahmood Aladraj, for the people who doesn't know me yet, and I'll be the servant at arms for today's meeting. I welcome you all to the 63rd meeting of Bahrain IT Professionals Toastmasters Club. So, upload, please. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention 3 ground rules which we follow in our Toastmasters meetings. Toastmasters, we do not talk about religion and politics, so please refrain from discussing these topics. Please put yourself on mute if you are not speaking, and turn off your video if you are stepping out of the meeting. As everybody in their life has a mission to achieve their goal, likewise, our Toastmasters Club also has a mission. The mission of our Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. With this, let me welcome, of course, our president is not around, so our ex-president, Mr. Abraham Santosh.
No, he's control. Here. Our president is here.
I'm here.
You are here. I didn't see you. Okay, great. So our president, Mr. Ahmed Al Balooshi, to take control and call the meeting in order. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Sergeant at Arms. And with that, I will call this meeting to order. All Toastmasters, dear guests, good evening. It was a long week. Actually, it was a long month. Actually, it was a long 3 months for me. Going through lots of things, but Toastmaster taught us that we are people who can handle things in tough times. Let me just share with you a small story before we go to the meeting agenda. When I was young, I was always thinking that the life is easy. I was raised within a poor family. But when I was young also, I was thinking the life is easy. And the time I was growing up, I realized that it's not as easy as I was thinking. And it was getting tougher. Thanks God that when I was young, at the youth age, I realized that I have to spend and invest in myself. With that, I spent on education, on getting certifications, on improving myself. But the best part of it, really, I really appreciate this. It was a Toastmaster journey. It has given me a lot of skills and talents that helped me to improve my life, not only my work life, even my personal life, my social life also. Let me please now welcome our guests today in this meeting and give them the mic to introduce themselves. And I will start with our honorable guest, Mr. Jalal Zaki.
Thank you. Thank President Saleh. Thank you for inviting me. I'm Jalal Zaki from Egypt. I'm 78 years old, but my brain is stopped at 18, was 17 just a month ago. And I worked in advertising. All the women above 60 are madly in love with me because I used to come out on television as Mr. Spicy and Chicken Tikka, and many other ads. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Jalal. Thank you. Really appreciating you being here with us tonight. And we hope that you will enjoy the session with our talented people over here that we have in BITP Toastmaster Club. Toastmaster Raki Jah. Raki. We call it in Arabic Raki Jah.
Yeah.
Good evening to you.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Can you introduce yourself?
I should introduce myself. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Raki, and I'm a coach, author, speaker, and I'm here just to learn that what is it, means how I'm going to this grow in my career. And I love Toastmaster. Just I'm thinking about which one is the best for me, where I can learn a lot and improve my communication. And I really want to become a speaker, this awareness speaker. That's why I love Toastmaster. I keep go after Mr. Galal Zaki, and can you send me the link? Can you send me the link? And he's very genuine. He keeps sending me the link. Okay, this is a link, and just go it. And I search the timing. Indian time and other countries' timing are different. I look after okay, what timing is suit for me, and just quickly join it. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Raki. We hope that you will enjoy the night tonight with us and you will like the show. Most probably, inshallah, you will like the show. We have here heroes among us who do miracles, and you will love the show tonight, inshallah. Mr. Toastmaster Ravi. Ravi is with us. Sorry. Akbar Khan. Toastmaster Akbar Khan. How are you?
Very good evening, Toastmaster Ahmed.
Hi, how are you? Long time didn't see you. Nice to see you back again.
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. How are you?
First few words.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just jumped in. I hope I'm gonna enjoy this meeting. Of course, I'm gonna see the good speakers tonight. I saw the posters, and I'm gonna wish all the speakers, all the evaluators, a very good luck, and hoping to enjoy the meeting tonight. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Akbar. And now with that, let us start our meeting and let us go through our agenda. Do we have any changes? Actually, I'm the Toastmaster of the day. I'm assuming that there are no changes. Is there any changes, Vice President Education?
Yes, there is a change. Still, we are waiting for our evaluator, DTM Khalid Jalal.
Okay.
And Toastmaster Mahmood will be the first speaker because he's having some urgent work. So he doesn't want to miss our meeting. And for his evaluator, Toastmaster Anis is here. And Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, evaluator Santosh Abram is here. And only the evaluator for Arshiyan, DTM Khalid, is joining later. So we will keep Arshiyan in the last speech. So we can continue with Toastmaster Mahmood, then Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao.
Okay.
One more change. There's one more change. Timer.
Yeah. Okay. One more change. Toastmaster Waseem, his family is arriving in Bahrain, so he's busy. So we have Toastmaster Shakil will be as a timer.
As what?
As a timer, Toastmaster Shakil.
Okay. That's great. Thank you very much. Okay. Let me then, are we, any apology other than Waseem and Khalid? There is no apologies. Yeah, right?
Yes, officially we don't have any apologies from any members.
Okay. So, okay, emergencies. Okay. And so we established the quorum for the meeting. True?
Yes, we have a full quorum. We can.
I need somebody to adopt the agenda and somebody to second it, please.
I, Toastmaster Mohammed Viqar, adopt the agenda. We just now have made the changes.
I, Toastmaster Tawfiq Abdul Qadir, second adopting the agenda.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster, Vice President Education and Vice President Public Relations. And with that, we'll start our meeting. And I would like to hand over the session to our Toastmaster of the day, who is not anyone but your Ahmed Saleh, Toastmaster Ahmed Saleh Al Balooshi. It's me again. All right, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me go directly to, I don't want to waste the time, and we will take the things like a faster track. I will go through the role players tonight, and the role players we have here, the timer will be Toastmaster Shakil. Toastmaster, can you just please step forward and read your role?
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Good evening, everyone. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Prepared speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. Individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Over to you.
Thank you very much. The timer, Toastmaster Shakil, thank you very much. And now I would like to introduce our grammarian, Toastmaster Mohammed Viqaruddin. Please read your role, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ahmed Balooshi. Fellow Toastmasters, we don't have distinguished Toastmasters and Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage, and I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, saying, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is receptivity, which means willingness to consider or accept new suggestions and ideas. The example of using the attitude of the child towards his book should be that unconscious receptivity. I encourage each and every speaker to use word of the day. I will give the grammarian report when called upon during the meeting and report the usage of word of the day. And today is my project also, active listening. That's why I have chosen the role as a grammarian. Back to you, our glamorous Mr. President, Toastmaster of the day, Ahmed Al Balooshi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Viqaruddin. Thank you very much, our respective grammarian. If you don't know, again, I will just repeat the word of the day. It is receptivity. And if you want to hear it, how exactly it is pronounced?
Receptivity.
Receptivity. So this is how you pronounce it, receptivity. And I hope that you receptivate me as your TMOD of the night. Okay, now we'll go for our counter, Toastmaster Ravi. Ravi, nice to see you, Ravi, as an counter. Please, read your role.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and guests. The purpose of our counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a pause fillers by anyone who speaks during their speech. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and, you know, yani. I will also listen for filler sounds, including a, I will note when a speaker repeats a word such as I, this means, that means, but, at the end of the meeting, I will report to the evaluator number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ravi. Nice. Okay, now let us go to our, it's a brief introduction for him, our general evaluator. We'll introduce him later on when his turn comes and he takes over the evaluation session. Our general evaluator for tonight is none but our hero, Toastmaster Tawfiq. The guy, I love this guy because he is, you can find him everywhere, mashallah. Toastmaster Tawfiq, please lead your role.
Thank you, the receptive TMOD of today 63rd meeting. It's always pleasure to lead under you, your wise leadership. As a general evaluator, my portion would be to evaluate the overall meeting and give feedback based on the evaluations, my tag team support, who would help me do the performance of the role today. I would come back again with my overall evaluation later part of the day. Hopefully it's more productive and give more positive feedback to our dynamic speakers who are, one of them even completing Toastmaster Gangadhar. We would request at the end of his speech or session to give him a standing ovation because he will be completing his path. Over to you, TMOD, Toastmaster Ahmed. You're muted, TMOD.
Sorry for that. I apologize. We will go now directly to the education session because we are exactly on the time, exactly on the schedule. So for not to waste, because I love to talk too much. So if you give me this chance, I will never stop talking. And I know some other people here in this club, when they talk, they don't stop talking. So hold me, don't let me talk too much. And with that, I'll go directly to the agenda and I would start the education session for our heroes and champions here in BITP Club. Let me start first with one of our members who is performing excellently. In this session, I can see that he is motivated and he is moving so fast, and I wish him all the best, which is Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj. But before that, before he starts his speech, I would like to call Toastmaster Anis Ar-Rahman, his evaluator, to read his objectives.
Thank you, TMOD. Thank you. Welcome to all the guest members, distinguished guest, Toastmaster Khalid Jalal. I think he's joined us back. Today, I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Mohammed Aladraj, who will be doing his Project 1 Level 4. The main objective of this particular project is for the member to learn on a review on a particular product or any other topic, to learn or review and do a basic research on the methodology and do a well presentation which can be organized. And then based on the research, he gives the feedback and what is the speech and on any topic of his choice. The research is basically can be humorous, informative, or any style which the member can choose to. The speech content and style should work well together with the speaker. Back to you, and very good luck to Toastmaster Mahmood.
Thank you very much, our evaluator, Toastmaster Anis. Now, I will go directly to Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj. Again, I'm just saying this because I want to save time, so we can have ahead of time at the end. Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj, I know him a long time ago, and he is one of the great guys who has huge talents, and he has lots of talents. And everybody sees him, he would love to work with him, actually. He is friend. Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj, he will be performing his last project in level 1, which is presentation. Presentation is something very important for those people who really want to advance their career. And I'm sure that you will see something professional with Toastmaster Mahmood. Please welcome with us Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj in his presentation, researching and presenting.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the control, if you can allow me to share my screen, please. I assume you are able to see my screen, right?
Not yet.
No.
Now, yes. Starting out.
Yes, now we can.
Okay, excellent. We change it to presentation mode. So you can see it as presented, right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So now you can start the content. Why is web application security is important? Now, everybody knows, everybody's using the web. Everybody is aware that web application is a web applications, website, web APIs, and microservices, and so many more. Now, Forbes distributed or had an article of British Airways hit with record fine following 2018 attack. And at that time, the GDPR rules were just newly created in 2018, I think, or 17. This has costed them around $229 million as a fine because of data loss. Equifax also had a data breach where 143 million people could be affected due to sensitive information leakage of names, social security numbers, birth date, address, and so on. So when it comes to security, why did this happen? Why they were hacked, basically, and why or how they've been breached. So the hacker found and exploited a vulnerability in one of their web applications or websites. As simple as that. I mean, I'm just trying to explain this in a simple language so people can understand it from different type of sectors. It's not only for IT. So only small vulnerabilities that they found and exploited. Now, in data breach investigation report published by Verizon in 2020 says around 32,000 security incidents out of around 4,000 data breaches in 81 countries. And web application hacking is the most common attack pattern, representing around 30% of the breaches. So if your organization has not been breached, it will probably be one day. Of course, if you are not prepared. If you are unprepared, then that may happen. Now, as a brief, you can understand that web application security is a challenge, right? Now, at the same time to market is challenging as well. So we've got a very competitive market. We've got agile development where frequent releases are generated on monthly, on weekly, or whatever frequency, which requires security testing, which is, again, a challenging game. Now, with security testing, you've got penetration testing, which is manual. You've got security tools, which is automated. And that turns out to be very expensive, time-consuming, and at least you have to do 2 pen tests per year for banks and for some organizations. Now, that's a lot of work. So don't let your security down, let you down. There are solutions that can save you if you are in an organization with these type of challenges. So you need to go with DAST. With DAST, you can achieve fast time to market, and by performing automated security tests that can allow you to detect issues, fast time to fix, and save you a lot of time. Now, there are DAST scanners for web applications and APIs and microservices. You can turn your DevOps into DevSecOps, if you didn't hear about that terminology, which means you need to include the security as part of your web application development lifecycle, and only report security vulnerabilities that matters and with details on how to fix them. Going forward, you have to have a seamless DevOps DevSecOps processes where you integrate the security part of your development to achieve the risk reduction, and it could be more efficient. I'll skip this and for the sake of time, and I'll present this. This is more objective. In DevOps, you plan, you code, you build, you test, you release, deploy, operate, and monitor, and so on. So it's a life cycle of agile development. With DAST, DAST could be part of your development and part of your security in each and every step. When you build, when you test, when you deploy, and when you operate and monitor during the life cycle of your development. Now, there are lots of companies are using DAST, BBC, BNP Paribas, and so many others that I'm sure everyone is aware of. Now, why these people trust DAST? So they can relax, have their web applications and APIs more secure. And in internal customer survey in 2019, it says reduces the risk by 80%, the DAST reduces the risk by 80% of successful attacks in web applications, and security teams spends 58% less time doing on web security testing. So at the end, what is DAST? Did anyone understand what is DAST or figured out what is it? Okay. DAST is dynamic application security testing, to cut it short. So this is one of the solutions that I've researched, and we can have more details if someone interested, and this is part of the marketing stuff. So thank you, and hope you enjoyed what DAST means. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. See, this is the beauty of presentation. It shows you and gives you the benefits of what you are listening to and what you are seeing. My advice to you as a technology, invest more in security. Invest more specifically in cybersecurity, because there is no use of whatever infrastructure and data that you have if you do not have the proper security elements and proper security configuration setup that will support and it will secure your information. Perfect. Great presentation, Toastmaster Mahmood. Thank you very much. And now,
thank you very much.
Thank you. And let's go now for our second speaker. Where is my glass? Sorry for that. Our second speaker is none but our champion again, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao. I miss Gangadhar actually. I really want him to be back with me again because he was my soulmate during the last 2 terms. I want him to be back again to this position again because I really miss his partnership at that time, and I want him to be close to me, inshallah. I'm sure that he have his own circumstances, and he will be strongly back with us. But now, by the way, Toastmaster Gangadhar, he is doing a great job in his pathways, and he reached his level 5 and he's closing it. He's closing this and he will be starting another pathway. Really, congratulations for him for this. Toastmaster Santosh Abraham, our IPP, he will be evaluating Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, and I would like to introduce him to say the objective of his speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day, Toastmaster Ahmed Al Balooshi. Mr. Toastmaster Day, fellow Toastmasters, and the speaker, a member who was very receptive member, is completing the last speech in his current path. The member may speak on any subject of the journey completed. The speech may be persuasive, it could be humorous, it could be informational, or crafted in any style that appeals to the member and supports the speech content. The purpose of this project is for member to reflect on his or her growth during the completion of an entire path. The purpose of the speech is for the member also to share some aspects of his or her growth during the completion of a path. So basically, it's a summary. He's going to tell us what he's going to attain all through, and his speech basically shows the growth prospects of what he attained and all through this path. I wish all the best to Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, and this definitely is going to be a receptive speech. Back to you, Toastmaster Day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Santosh. And now we will leave you with our champion, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, in his path, level 5, effective coaching, reflect on your path. Please welcome with me, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Our destiny is not written for us, but by us. The famous quote by Barack Obama. I have started writing my destiny in February 2019. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, a very good evening to all. How can we write our own destiny? That's a big question. But I got an answer when I started doing this, my path in Toastmasters. Writing speeches in Toastmasters is nothing but writing your destiny, which will take you to your destiny. That's what I have achieved by doing this particular path in Toastmasters. What a wonderful experience. Of course, throughout the journey in Toastmaster, the first speech makes a big difference in our life by all Toastmasters, the icebreaker speech. I still remember when I joined Toastmaster, everybody was asked to deliver their first speech. Obviously, we will be taking back seat. I'm not ready, I'm not ready. I honestly tell today, every Toastmasters need a kick where I don't know, but there only the first speech starts. I got that kick from a very known person, PTM Manjula Nagendra. She just said, just do it. I like that just do it phrase because I'm a big Nike fan. So I said immediately, yeah, I need to do it. So from that time, this is my famous quote, just do it. Anything, just do it. Don't wait for the kick to happen. This was the first step towards this path when I started. Of course, the path has taught me so many things, and so many key things went into my blood. Certain things stays with me for my whole rest of the life. One of the important thing is time. Timing is how much important in our life. Toastmaster speeches teaches you the timing. Once I started Toastmaster, everywhere I started looking at my watch when I speak in the office, in the meeting. I'm so conscious about timing. Am I crossing my limit? Am I speaking too much? What it is? I always recommend every Toastmaster. I am also trying to get a set of color cards which carry in your pocket. It will help you a lot. When you are speaking to your wife, start taking green card, yellow card, red card. She will stop. So it can be used in so many places. I honestly follow that process of timing in talking anytime. Coming to the most important skill which I attained is speaking. Yes, I improved a lot in speaking. Before this path started, before Toastmasters started, I used to talk. Now I speak. Now I understand the difference between talking and speaking. One is completely informal, one is completely formal, makes a big difference in life. Along with that, the most important that speaking has changed my personal growth a lot. I still remember in one of my office events when I was delivering some session, a small event of speech of 10 minutes, when it is finished, I received one of the feedback or a comment saying that you are standing there like a Toastmaster. My hands are down, I am steadily standing, I am not doing anything funny. So that was a great comment for me saying that you are standing like a Toastmaster when you are talking. That is one of the personal achievement I had in my life, including my body language, changes to my body language. Next and most important thing is listening. Did I learn listening? Yes, but it did not stop there listening. Many people say when you are talking in the office, okay, we think our boss is not listening. We keep talking. The boss is saying, I'm listening. Are you listening to me? What do you mean by listening? Are you giving me 1 year or 2 years? This is where the bad quality of listening. So Toastmaster, I learned along with listening, I joined the concept of receptivity. I listen and I am also receptive. What you are talking, I am buying it. I am taking your ideas. This is one of the important things. Listening and receptivity is a great combination, which I learned in throughout my speeches in Toastmaster. Because of that, I learned these two important key things: how to connect listening and receptivity. And most important thing is surprisingly, last 1.5 years, 2 years, I learned a lot about lot of tools because of the virtual meetings. It is, you call it as an Otter, you call it as a Zoom, whatever you name it, of course. We become masters of Zoom because of Toastmaster. The way Toastmaster mentioned the rules of virtual meeting, how to sit, center yourself, this thing, everything, we become champions. This will help us a lot in speaking virtually in life anywhere. This is one of the great learning from Toastmasters because of the virtual meetings as a tools which I learned. And always Toastmasters talks about throughout the path what I did. Everywhere I see something called service. Toastmaster talks about service. How can we provide service? How can I serve my fellow members? Or how can I receive service from other senior members? Service is one of the key value I learned as a Toastmaster, that you need to provide those service to your fellow Toastmasters. At the same time, you can receive the service. By doing this, I feel I am serving myself much more by doing this task. So service is one of the critical key thing I learned in Toastmaster. Also, whenever a significant outcome, what I can say, what I achieved out of this thing, the biggest outcome is that I feel so proud that I could convince with the way people are observing me in my company, they respect my way of adding value to Toastmaster, explaining Toastmaster. Finally, I take that, we pride a part of forming the biggest club, KPMG club, Toastmaster club with 70+ members, which is completely went because of I could demonstrate the value of Toastmasters in my company. What I learned in Toastmasters, I used to demonstrate at every place, whether I am talking or I am listening or I am standing in presentation, I used to reflect Toastmaster essence. That is what they saw actually directly. Then that's what is there, what the idea of Toastmasters. So this is one of the things, not about just learning, listening, talking, demonstrating those things in day to day, wherever we are, in the office, at home. Even my kids are observing me, how I am talking, how I am speaking when I am doing it at home. So we can bring this to every corner when we really practice the Toastmaster. But all this we can do only by practicing our speeches. Almost, I don't remember exactly, maybe around 10 to 12 projects in this path, which has been done in different ways. But every path credit goes to one of the Toastmaster member. Either it could be my mentor, coach, or the other people who arrange this meeting, the role players, everybody, the credit goes to everyone, not to me alone. If I am completed this, it's a bit, I may sound a bit emotional, but yes, this is a family, this is a team which is driven me to this. This is required for every Toastmaster to go in that direction. Apart from this, what am I going to do? I have achieved so much. Am I done with this? No. What am I going to do? What are my next goals in the Toastmasters? My next goal is I want to complete with this encouragement my next path, which I took as a dynamic leadership in next 6 months. Now I'm an experienced path. I completed one path, next path I should be doing better. This is a typical project management enhancement. So my target is to complete in 6 months the dynamic leadership path. And definitely to give speeches every month wherever there is an opportunity. I don't know what kind of energy I get it, even though I'm sitting in India now, it is almost 10:30, 11 o'clock, but I'm so energized and deliver this speech. And I'm thankful to be allowing me to give speech in this kind of form. And that is the greatness goes to the BITP club. I need to mention few people throughout my path who has reflected in my path in a direct, indirect, of course, the whole club. I remember the initial days, my founding club. I am as a founding member, but founding president, Toastmaster Santosh Abraham. We had a lot of fun in the beginning, and I used to get a lot of encouragement from him. And I used to have a lot of things, and he used to pacify me and to continue. Otherwise, I would have jumped out long back. So that credit goes to him. Toastmaster Ahmed, as he mentioned, we were buddies for a lot of reasons. So we had all that fun. And two important people, I cannot skip without that. One is Toastmaster Khalid Jalal, who is always behind me. What is he doing behind me? Pushing me. Do it, go. And another person, Toastmaster Mohammed, who is always on top of my head, hitting me, deliver speech. So one is behind you, one on top of your head, you will complete it. There is no second thought in it. That was so thoughtful that Mohammed said, you give me your speech, I will give you the first option because it will be too late for you, India. That is the service and sensibility in the Toastmasters. They consider all aspects to give you that kind of boost in your life. With that, all I am saying is that all Toastmasters start writing your own destiny. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao. You see, a perfect closing for his pathway. And I believe that the next start will be amazing. Thank you very much for being with us through this journey, long journey. I was with you actually in this. We were together in this. We started it together and we finished it together. This is the distinguished road for you. Welcome to the club. All right, so let's go now for our next speaker and the last speaker, who is, he's another champion, by the way. Yeah, I love his spirit. He has a challenging soul, and he always loved to be. And he's, by the way, a sport guy. Yeah, these guys, you see, they have always motivational aspects in their life, which will move them towards success, inshallah. But let me first, before we introduce the speaker, we introduce his evaluator, our distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Jalal, to read his objective. Please.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies and the club president. With your permission, before I start reading out the objective, can I say something?
Yes, please.
I was so impressed with the speech made by our speaker, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao. I just want to add one thing which I think he did not add. In the Zoom world, where we, the bikers, go zoom, we become Zoom in front of the Zoom. We are zooming right now even. So with the opportunity that we are in the Zoom, let me read out the objective of our speaker today. I hope he's zooming in India still, or maybe he'll start soon. All the best.
Thank you.
Great. So our speaker, Toastmaster Arshiyan Nazish, he is so excited to complete his fourth project, which is research and presenting from the presentation mastery pathway. He has come with the title Truth About Caffeine, and his purpose of project is for him to learn or review the basic methods and of research and present a very well organized speech on any topic, and he has selected the caffeine as his topic. So I wish Toastmaster Arshiyan all the best. Timer, please note he has 5 to 7 minutes to deliver his speech. The floor is all yours, Toastmaster Arshiyan, but let me pass the control to our MC to introduce him.
Thank you very much, DTM Khalid. And Toastmaster Arshiyan also, he will be completing his level 1 project. So BITP will have 2 projects on level 1 close, which is at DCP. Thank you very much, team. Thank you, really. We are getting closer to our 9th DCP point, inshallah. Toastmaster Arshiyan will produce his level 1 project, the last project, the research and presentation. Again, presentation is something very important from his pathway presentation mastery with the title, The Truth About Caffeine. I love caffeine, Arshiyan. Don't say something bad about it. Mike is yours.
Thank you so much, DTM Khalid and our president, Toastmaster Ahmed Al Balooshi. I hope I'm audible and visible to everyone. All right. Now, before I begin my speech today, I would like to see a show of hands for how many of you consider yourselves as caffeine addicts, myself included. And how many cups of coffee would you drink per day? 1 cup, 2 cups, or more than 2? I'm a more than 2 cup guy, right? What about energy drinks or caffeinated sodas? Anyone in that? I don't think it would suit your age category. No offense. Very well. So today I would like to give you some facts about caffeine and its effects on our body. Now, I may not cause you to change your coffee consumption, but at least you'll be better informed about what you're putting into your body, right? Now, let's start with the basics. What is caffeine? A definition published by the Australian government's Department of Health says that caffeine is a drug that stimulates the production of nerve impulses, which increases the activity of the brain. In our world, we see that caffeine is often considered as a pervasive in our society. And every few months, there is some article or a study about how good or bad it is for us. Now, what are we to believe in this case? Let me take you through some of the origins of coffee to start with, and then we will look at the health benefits and risks. All right, so the good news is caffeine comes from nature. Leaves, seeds, and fruits of 63 different plant species, including coffee beans, tea leaves and buds, dola nuts, cacao beans, and guarana seeds, right? A little bit of history about coffee. It originated from a native plant in a place called Kefa in Ethiopia in the 4th century AD, and it was introduced to Arabia and the rest of the world for cultivation towards the 15th century, as stated in the Britannica Encyclopedia. Towards the 17th century, the world's supply of coffee was obtained almost entirely from Yemen. In the late 19th century, with the introduction of industrial roasting and grinding machines, instant coffee was developed, which led to the increased production of cheaper beans in Africa. By the 20th century, the greatest concentration of coffee was produced in Brazil. Looking at the health benefits of caffeine, a newsletter that was published by Healthline Media of UK states that the recommended maximum intake for adults must not exceed 400 milligrams per day, which is roughly around 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. A moderate intake of coffee may enhance weight loss, cognitive function, and alertness. The same newsletter further elaborates that the coffee helps with weight loss. How? By suppressing the appetite. By suppressing the appetite and temporarily reducing the desire to eat, or by stimulating thermogenesis so that the body generates more heat and energy from digesting food. 160 milligrams to 600 milligrams dose of coffee may improve mental alertness, speed reasoning, and memory as stated by the same research. However, coffee is not a substitute for sleep. The European Food Safety Agency recognizes that caffeine consumption can increase endurance performance and capacity, whereby further enhancing the physical performance during high-intensity sports, like the one that I do. A research conducted by the National Institute of Health of USA has found that lifelong consumption of caffeine in moderate amounts may reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Another longitudinal study by the same institute found that participants who increased their coffee intake by more than 1 cup a day over a 4-year period had 1% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes as compared to people who did not change their intake. And people who lowered their daily consumption by more than 1 cup of coffee showed a 17% higher risk of type 2 diabetes. We know that the negative effects of caffeine are largely dependent on how much you consume. In large amounts, caffeine can cause you to have headaches, feel restless, nervous, and even cause sleep deprivation. And in some rare cases where it is consumed in very large quantities, people have also experienced hallucinations. Don't try that at home. Another research published in 2016 by National Institute of Health, USA, showed that high caffeine intake may worsen symptoms of anxiety and depression. Various studies have suggested that more than 300 milligrams of coffee a day, or the amount equal to almost 3 cups, among women could lead to loss of pregnancy, delayed fetal growth, and abnormal fetal heartbeat. And doctors around the world often recommend women should limit their coffee intake to less than 200 milligrams during pregnancy. Now, most sodas and energy drinks have about 35 milligrams of caffeine per 8 ounces. This means that you don't have to worry too much unless you're drinking almost like 2 liters of bottles per day. Also, the effect of caffeine on you personally depends on various factors such as your weight, your general health, your mood, and your body's overall receptivity towards caffeine. As you can see, caffeine can have both positive and negative effects on our health and well-being. Nevertheless, the bottom line is that if you drink your coffee and sodas in moderation, you don't have anything to worry about. In Charles Maurice de Talleyrand's words, the perfect recipe for coffee was black as devil, hot as hell, pure as an angel, sweet as love. So the next time you're wondering whether you should have that second cup of coffee to perk you up, just relax. At least now you know what it will do and it won't do for your body. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Arshiyan. Motivated. So who is motivated now to switch from tea and other energy drinks to coffee? By the way, if you are coffee addictive, I drink coffee at night, late night, 10, 11 o'clock, but it's a decaffeine. It didn't affect me that much. Great. Now let us go for the next session. Now the next session is a fun session. For those who love to talk, for those who have ideas, for those who would love to motivate others, this is your chance. I would pass the mic to our Vice President. Actually, he's master, table topic master, not BPE, but the table topic master, Toastmaster Mohammed Viqaruddin. I have, before I give him the mic, I have to thank this guy for all his efforts. He's a superman actually in the BITP and in other, in the division level and the district level also. He's doing lots of things. He's supporting himself, he's supporting the BITP club, and he's supporting all Toastmasters entities, district, division, and even region. So I'd like to thank you for all this effort. Please continue the way that you are doing. You are excelling in what you are doing. Thank you very much. Now the mic is yours, and you are the master of the topics.
Thank you, Mr. President and Toastmaster of the day, for a nice and wonderful introduction. Now, the most important for the impromptu session, I have noticed on the online world, when it comes to the table topic, people will leave the meeting or they switch off their camera. So I can see here also the same thing. So I encourage our guests and those who would like to be a part of table topic, please switch on your cameras. Okay, Rakhija has opened her camera. And who else? DTM Khaled always is ready for table topic. And Toastmaster Ravi. The purpose of table topic, think out from your feet. As you may see, we have prepared speeches, which they prepared, they come and deliver. While evaluation, they observe and they speak. While impromptu, no one has prepared. So this opportunity, normally, we will give to the guest. So who would like to be a volunteer to be a table topic? I have very nice quote. I have to give that credit to Noha Madani because I copied her presentation, so I will share over here. And who would like to go first? Raise your hand. Oh my God, our DTM Khaled has raised. So who else? I will go with him first because this topic is exactly, it is relevant to him.
Is it for marriage? Is it on marriage?
No, it is not about marriage, but it is about Toastmasters life.
Okay,
okay.
That's not relevant.
Which number do you like?
Well, Islam says 4, so I'll go with 4.
Okay, for your topic is real communication is impossible without listening. That's my project. I'm doing it. Again, I will repeat the topic. Real communication is impossible without listening. Over to you.
Thank you very much, our table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and our guest today. A very good evening. If I disagree with this statement after seeing who has made this quote, I'm not supposed to be in Toastmasters. Because this quote is directly from Dr. Ralph's Bentley. And that is why we are in Toastmaster. The basic part of the communication, before you speak, before you comment on anyone, you should know how to listen carefully. Because the moment you understand what someone else is communicating with you, that is only when your ears are working. When your ears are working, the ear sends the signals to your brain, and brain understand what the whole thing is. In IT terminology, it compiles it and interprets it and tells you what it is and what can be the right answer. So all the if and else and the loop statements start working in your brain, and then only you decide what is the right output. Then only you use your mouth or your tongue to take the message to the audience. So I completely agree with the statement. Unless you are a good listener, you are not a good speaker. And unless you are a good speaker, you cannot be a good leader, because these are the fundamentals to be a good leader. Listening, speaking, and have the patience to understand what other people say and have the patience of what people are telling you to digest it. Because not only when you listen, something is your favor, you react positive. If it is not in your favor, you react negative. Because everyone understands things in their own perspective. So you should understand how people translate, interpret the message. You should be very positive in your understanding and your response and your patience. Then only you can be a demonstrative good leader. That's my take. Back to your table topic master.
Thank you, DTM Khalid Jalal, for a wonderful topic. Normally,
Tabletop master, usually they say the first topic is always the easiest one. So I thought, let me finish it and start my evaluation writing. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Khalid Jalal, always inspiring the club for your impromptu style. In normal day-to-day talk also, he's an excellent impromptu speaker. So he disagree about the quote. Then he said, no, I cannot be disagree because of the Dr. Ralph Smedley, which is our founder, Toastmasters clubs. Before speaking, as he said correctly, we have to listen someone, and ears are working like a brain, as he mentioned, but I think he needs to become a doctor because he's observing very closely as a diagnostic listening power can be increased. And his message also wonderful conclude about saying everyone has to be a perspective. It translate to understand and demonstrate as a good leader. Thank you, DTM Khalid, for your wonderful speech. Now, next, I would like to go with who is camera is on, our guest, Rakhi Jha.
Just 2 minutes, somebody on door, just 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay, so I will go with our, I have seen on Yacht, Youth Adult Toastmaster, which is inspiring to me, that is past president of Youth Advanced Toastmasters Club, which is Akbar Khan. I think he's a winner of a champion. He's going in the area, so I think it's a good attempt for him to go with the table topic. I would like to share my screen once more time. Now tell me which number would you like?
Toastmaster today, I would like to go with 7.
7. Number 7. Number 7 about the topic, fault finding without suggestion for improvement is a waste of time. Fault finding without suggestion for improvement is a waste of time. Quote by our founder of Toastmaster, Ralph C. Smedley. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, fellow guest, and lovely guest. A very good evening. Fault finding without an improvement is a waste of time, said by our father of Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, when my father, when I was growing up, used to see or used to observe that when I'm doing certain things, which is, or putting allegations to someone, I'm trying to put lots of words, lots of things, lots of heavy things, just to make them that I am better and they are not doing well. And I'm trying to find every bit of faults in every actions of either my friends or siblings or anything. And then my dad used to tell me, like, you are doing wrong and you need to change this kind of attitude. You need to change this kind of attitude, not towards your sibling, but towards all the people around you, either your colleague, your friends, anyone around you. Otherwise, you will not gonna improve yourself. It's not the one time he's told me, like not the second time, third times. Whenever I made those actions, or I'm trying to find any fault in anyone's. From there onward, while growing up, growing with the leaders, growing with the Toastmasters, growing with the friends and fellow everyone, I have seen this, that if you want to be the true leader, if you want to become the greatest leader, you have to first observe yourself where you are. You have to observe your actions and then do this fault finding. So ladies and gentlemen, before you observe or take out the fault for anyone, make sure that you are there on the right path. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akbar Khan, for as per the table topic, you make opening body and make the conclusion. Your opening was absolutely, and as the body, you shared about the story about your father, and he gave you to make the things judge properly. Wrong thing should not do. You have to improve for yourself. Next point for the others. And I really like it. Conclude what you made. If you want to be a leader, you first to be observed, else action to take time. Thank you for that, your table topic. Now, next we will move on. Who would like to attempt? Can you raise your hand? Because I don't have time. Our TMOD is watching me. For the time. Okay, so now, okay, Toastmaster Ravi. He's our R counter. I don't know who will count his R, but I will give him a chance. Yes.
Two.
Tell me which number? 2?
2.
A speech without a specific purpose is like a journey without a destination. A speech without a specific purpose is like a journey without a destination. Over to you.
Thank you. A speech without a purpose is like a journey without a destination. Absolutely, this is a correct 100% right statement. Whenever we are speaking something and we are trying to convey some message on specific topic, when you are giving such speeches or such conversations, when you don't know for what purpose you are speaking, it's like really meaningless. The humans we are speaking and the animals, they will speak in their language and it is having a meaning, and the people, they will understand what we are speaking and what we want to convey. The purpose is like, when you are speaking without any meaning, it's like playing a musical system without no meaning. So here I would like to conclude the speech without meaning is better not to give any speech. Be quiet. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravi, for well attempt table topic. And this is how we should do the table topic. 100% right. You agreed the statement and you are trying to make some meaningless talking. And as you mentioned, animals, they don't understand. And always we have to have a understanding, and you have make the conclusion without better, you must have to speak. Thank you. And I have only the last one. I will give for one, I think, raise hand by Rakhija as well as Jalal, but I have only one because you invited for Rakhi. I will give for Rakhi for the chance, because ladies first always.
Thank you so much.
Okay, tell me the number.
1.
Real communication is impossible without listening.
Okay.
Real communication is impossible without listening. Quote by our Alps Snagly. Over to you.
Okay. So thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I'm really appreciate that this topic came to me. Real communication is really important without proper listening. So when we say something, the first thing we need to understand is what we are communicating, what we are saying. Until and unless your communication or your topic or your reason or your why is clear, finding the meaning of the sentences or the meaning what we want to convey is sometimes it becomes very tough. For example, today only when I was taking interview with one of my guests and he was from US. So for me, it was very difficult to understand his accent because it was totally in like US accent. And when he was when he was giving his speech for 15 to 16 minutes, I was able to gather only just 2 or 3 sentences. And later I was like, I understand. Then I was just thinking that what is he saying? So that time I understood that real communication is important, is really important when you listen. So I was trying very hard to understand what he's trying to say. The listening comes when you try to, when the communication is very clear or the way you are speaking is clear. Then you can give the proper meaning to it, that what the person is saying and what you are replying or what you are communicating. A real communicator is not the one who communicates. A real communicator is the one who listen first and then decode it in the way that everybody can understand. So this is what I have understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you a Toastmaster, Rakhi, or non-Toastmaster?
No, I'm not a Toastmaster.
Very good. Thank you. Because normally our Toastmasters, they make opening, body, and the conclusion. You can see our DTM Khalid and other Toastmaster Akbar Khan has made the same thing. So now you made good attempt for listening about how to understand the conveying the message. The guest should have to understand listening and the purpose of the communication. I think I will not take much time. Now I will thank you so much for attempting all of them. And Toastmaster Jalal, I want you to come again for our table topic. That's what I don't have time because TMOD is watching me and he's sending a message to me as well. So I will not take much time, and thank you so much. And that's it from my side. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day, our dynamic president, Toastmaster Ahmed Balooshi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. It was a great session. We had lots of fun. Let's go directly to the business because we are late by 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. We will go for the business session, and I would like to start with our sergeant at arms. He's here, not here. Okay, we'll go directly to the secretary. Our secretary, I would like to hear from you your report. Can you read the minutes?
For the previous meet?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm unfortunately not able to share that now, TMOD President. I'll be excusing myself on this.
You want to say it later on? Can I skip you until the end? So you can
yes, let me capture it. Yeah.
Okay, khalas, do it that. Let's go for our. Okay, the next one is our treasurer, who was not able to come because he had an emergency, but he shared with me his brief report, which we had a balance of 185 dinar in our account, and we also collected around 310 dinars from the program that we had done, which is the YLP and the Speechcraft. But of course, we had expenses, especially during the last event, which I will be talking about it at the end of this session when my turn comes. So we have around almost 495 BD in our account, but the expense is a little bit more. Again, we'll talk about it later. So let me go now for the next one, which is the Vice President Public Relations, Toastmaster Tawfiq.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our VPPR team and our club has been dynamic in District 20, and thanks to your leadership, thanks to Mr. IBP for the momentum that he set up, Thanks to DTM Khalid, who's always been encouraging me. And as Toastmaster Gangadhar put, there's one guy who pushes and there's one guy on the top. So I don't need to name them. One I already mentioned, the other is smiling and laughing all the time. He keeps on pushing me from the top. And that's how we get the first award in PR this term and this month. Thanks to, again, Mr. IPP for sharing his podcast with me, and we're doing brilliant on that. And as I discussed with Mr. President, hopefully we will get another award for the lovely event that we just recently concluded, and we had a nice little snap and get together. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our Vice President of Public Relations, another hero in our club. We can see him everywhere. He's doing a brilliant job. And the social media, even by person, he goes everywhere and he participates with other clubs, specifically for BITP and other clubs as also. So his effort is appreciated by everyone, not only by us. Thank you very much. Can we just give him a big applause because he really deserves it. Thank you very much. Now again, we go for our next one, Vice President membership, Toastmaster Shakil. Can you provide your report, please?
Sure. Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony and our President. Thank you. It was a very receptive meeting. I have good information about membership. We have 22 members who are paid till March end, which is a good number. We have 7 new members joined in the last few months, which is also a very good number. We are 1 member short to get the award for the to become a distinguished club, and that is also in progress. We have 2 members. Actually, today we have one who is prospect member joining today. He joined late, Ajmal. Ajmal, can you please show your video, please? He already submitted his membership form. I have the form with me. He will pay his fees, and then we will induct him very shortly from 1st December. With that, we have all the points to become distinguished club. Okay. And
big applause for our Vice President membership. He has done a great.
Actually, big applause to the whole team. President, really, your motivation and the efforts put in by VPPR, Toastmaster Tawfiq, and VP Education, Viqaruddin. I think we all put a lot of efforts to get new members. And this is really a good work, good teamwork. And that's why we got this award, definitely. But I'm very happy that we will be reaching that point. We have Ajmal, we should introduce him today at the end possibly. And that's all. We'll continue actually looking for more prospects to maintain our numbers and maintain our members. And I think our meetings are very well. All the members are interested, continuing. So hopefully we will have this continue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Over to you, President.
Hello, everyone. This is Ajmal.
Hi, Ajmal.
Ajmal,
thank you very much for being with us. We will come back to you, inshallah.
It's my pleasure. It's my great pleasure to join part of IT Professionals Toastmasters Club.
Thank you, Ajmal. Thank you for joining.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Shakir. Again, as you said, it's a teamwork. As always, a good leader, he is working with a team. Absolutely. And he appreciates his team and he accepts the efforts of his team. And this is how we excel in whatever we do at work, at home, in society. Teamwork is the key for any success. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shakir. Now we go with our Vice President Education, which you have another few minutes, so I can conclude mine and we can go to the next topic.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will not take much time. I've already mentioned some of the points, especially on the education program. On the level 1, already we achieved 4 out of 4, and the level 2, next, it might be Toastmaster Anis will achieve his level 2, and as well as Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao and mine. So we will achieve in level 2, and level 3 also will achieve one more. I will make that. And we are good to go as in terms of the education program. Thank you so much for all members who made their speeches. And apart from that, we have successfully conducted the YLP and the Speechcraft award ceremonies with a grand success. Thanks to all members. Along with that, we have a small announcement which we are going to make our Speechcraft program conducted by our club. And later on, I will share the link. So we have to make the registration. Those who would like to take the experience as a Speechcraft, they can join to our club by tentatively January will be starting. And that's it from my side, and back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Viqaruddin. Again, one of our heroes in BITP and the area, division, and the district level, Toastmaster Viqaruddin. And you can see how Toastmaster Viqaruddin, he developed himself for the last 2 years and how the area that he reached. I really obey him for the way that he did, and he put lots of efforts and time just to reach to this stage of excellency. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Viqaruddin, for all your efforts. You have done a great job. You, Toastmaster Tawfiq, Toastmaster Shakil, and Toastmaster Arshiyan, everyone over here. The reward will come back to you always. Whatever you do now, you will get it later on. Thank you very much. Let's give a big applause for Toastmaster Viqaruddin also. Now, it's my turn, but Toastmaster Anis, do you want to say anything? Do you have anything to say about your report, or should I start? I have only
I still don't have it, President, so I'll share it next week.
I will try to brief whatever you have, and the result of the minutes. I'll talk about it. I'll try to finish in 5 minutes so we can catch the schedule. All right. First of all, I would love to appreciation for our BITP leaders to conduct and complete the YLP and the Speechcraft program, specifically Toastmaster, Tawfiq, Viqaruddin, Arshiyan, Anis, and the rest of the team. But those people, they have put lots of efforts to make this successful. Please, let's give them a big applause. They deserve it. They really deserve it. Thank you very much. And those 2 programs, which are actually the YLP award, the YLP program and the Speechcraft, we had also, this is a part of the success that we have done. We have conducted a ceremony successfully in Adari Park. It was along with the BITP Gavel Club will be launched, and we are waiting for the Gavel Club members. Must include members who are under 18. See, these are lots of programs are sponsored by BITP. Also, more to come also. So thank you very much for all you. We appreciate all your efforts. If I have to talk, I don't have the words to thank you for all your efforts. But I believe that you believe in yourself, that what you have done, it is something unique. And everybody over here, they appreciate whatever you have done, and it goes back to you as a reward also. Thank you very much. Now, also, we have conducted on the same day the Toastmasters Santosh, our IPP speech on contest, followed by QA special session. There's a PR award on podcast from District 20. Do you have any update on this, Toastmaster Tawfiq?
Come again, Mr. President?
A public relation award on podcast.
We received already from District 20 being the #1.
Okay, good, fantastic. So this is one of the gifts, awards that we are getting from everywhere, and appreciation not only in words. We give it as an award and as a prize as well. The pathway completed. Now, see, this is something good also. We are closing levels, and we are getting points and DCPs, which is taking us to the max level of the DCP points. Toastmaster Gangadhar, he completed the level 5. Let's ask for him, and thank you very much for all your efforts. Also, Toastmaster Mahmood, level 1 is finished. Mahmood and Arshiyan, thank you very much. Great job. Speechcraft program will be launched. See, whoever is listening to us, he can pass this message to anyone. There will be a Speechcraft program that will be launched in January. If you are interested in it and you want any more information about it, please contact our Vice President Education, Mohammed. We will be having our contest 4 contests distributed in 2 months by late December and also almost the first or second week of January. We will be conducting our contests and the winners will go to the division level, inshallah. We are planning for our physical meeting to start, starting from our next membership renewal, it will be on February or March. So this is our plan. We will work with our ExCom team to make sure that a proper plan is in place. So all the members, we can start going back to our normal life and the physical meeting. Also, we had one meeting, joint meeting with Balooch Club. And I had yesterday meeting with DTM Khalid, the president of Balooch Club, with his team. And we agreed on certain points. Maybe I'll give 1 minute for DTM Khalid to talk about it, briefly about it. But it is all about that they have an avenue also. I will talk, there is a plan with the Balooch Club because they have an avenue, so we can do a joint meeting with them. But this is still not decided. We will meet with our ExCom, we will discuss it, and if it's agreed, then we will arrange it with our DTM Khalid. DTM Khalid, do you want to say anything about this in 1 minute?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. We had a meeting with the ExCom yesterday evening in the presence of President of BITP, Toastmaster Ahmed Al Balooshi. What we discussed is the member wants to continue their physical meetings in the club. They're a bit nervous to have external audience because they say they're new and they are a bit shy and afraid, and they don't want to break before the icebreaker. So I agreed with them, it's okay, we can continue the meetings over there. We might need some help from the club members time to time. And we also propose if they want to have the meetings in physical, they don't want to continue with the virtual. I told them this club, BITP, will have the physical meetings from April onwards. So what if we want to have, instead of Balooch Club is being part of BITP, why not BITP become part of Balooch Club in their physical meetings and perform the speech and evaluations and so on, complete the projects. So this is something we discussed over there. So still things are under discussion, not finalized. But there's something good if you all agree. Maybe we can make use of the venue for benefit of both the clubs till we go live in April as BITP.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Khalid. Now, these are all good news, and we can manage. I mean, to take the best out of it. Yeah. So it's all about that. There are chances. You can raise yourself, and you can raise others with you. Others can raise you also. Take all the advantage. Take all the benefits, whatever opportunities that you have. It's not about you create business. You create opportunities. Those opportunities should be in the favor of the members and the Toastmaster journey also. Yes? Okay, thank you very much. And with that, I'm done with the report. We will move to the next stage. And again, Toastmaster, can you arrange for the first week of December an ExCom meeting? Because we want to discuss all these points and so we can share them with all the other members and agree with the contest plan also and the speechcraft also. All right. And now I would like to give the mic to our general evaluator. It is exactly, we are on time and it's 9 o'clock. You have 25 minutes to conclude everything, whatever you have. I'm very strict on this time.
Okay, before hand it over to our general evaluator, we need to have a best speaker award, best speaker poll. So I'm launching now. I request everyone.
Just launch it, vote for it. Yes, vote for it, please. And let's go for the next. I would like to introduce our general evaluator, Toastmaster Tawfiq Kadar. I don't want to introduce him by saying the words. He's well known. Please take the mic and shoot the star.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ahmed Al Balooshi. As a general evaluator, my role is to evaluate along with my team. So I would start with first our timer report. Toastmaster Shakil Sheikh, if you'd like to, please unmute yourself.
Yes, Thank you. Thank you, General Evaluator. It was a very good receptivity today. Prepared speeches. Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj took 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Toastmaster Gangadhar took 10 minutes and 46 seconds. Toastmaster Arshiyan took 7 minutes. So I think Toastmaster Mahmood exceeded his time by 15 seconds.
I think it's on the table. I think it's still qualified.
I mean, as per the time, he should finish between 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. He took 7 minutes, 15 seconds. So I think we can allow that.
30 seconds is a grace period. So
okay,
within time.
Fine. Table topics. TTM Khalid Jalal took 2 minutes. Toastmaster Akbar Khan took 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Toastmaster Ravi took 1 minute, 13 seconds. Rakhi Jha took 1 minute and 28 seconds, all within time. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, and I would appreciate.
With your permission, Mr. General Evaluator, can we finish the poll for the best table topic?
Yes, go ahead, please. Mr. Timer, I would again request you to please time the evaluators.
Sure, thank you.
And if you'd like to specify the timing criteria, once again, so we are on time.
Yes, let me mention that. Second. Okay, the time for the individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. So it is between 2 to 3 minutes. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, and you have 30 seconds as grace period. First evaluator, I would like to request, as per the agenda, which we just altered and we adopted, may I have Toastmaster Anisur Rahman to evaluate the speaker, Toastmaster Mohammed Aladraj.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening again, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Today, I'm evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj, who has delivered a speech with the title Dash. Right? Yes. So as the topic has been a DAST. Yes, I spelled it wrong. It's DAST. So as it says, it's his first, completing his first project with level 4, which was a presentation. Now, Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj did an excellent job capturing all the background details and presenting it to the audience, which is a primary requirement, especially when it comes to security. In the field of security, especially, we see that web applications play a major role, especially for the growth of the organization. And something of a key topic was well presented with proper report that includes with Forbes and also CNN Tech, and giving details of how exactly the organizations have gone in a loss because of not focusing on something as important as security. Next, he mentioned that the data breach investigation report, which was quite comprehensive and very insightful. And definitely the quote he mentioned, "It will probably be you one day." It's absolutely right. The presentation was in brief, in detail, and to the point, telling what exactly are the current challenges and what solution can be considered by day-to-day activities and major organizations to protect their web application. Now, when it comes to presentation, he had all the content in places, but I feel he forgot that, saying it's coming from the BITP, he could have raised few queries to the people asking, are you aware how exactly are organizations losing it? Are you aware where exactly are major organizations getting compromised from? So the questioning would have been more useful and very addressed. I myself deliver a few presentations to my customers, and this is where knowing the customer or the audience and engaging them plays a vital role, especially for it. Next thing would be the excitement. When you started with DAST, I think the first thing would be to introduce the topic itself, because when people are not aware, they get lost. I think the excitement was lost because it's a beautiful product. The product is doing everything, but waiting to know what the product was not something on a presentation, I would say, would add value. If you say DAST is already this, DAST is your dynamic application security testing solution, and this is what it can do, would create more audience excitement, and definitely on a live environment, it would raise more queries like, can your solution do this? Can your solution do this? Overall, it was excellent speech. I enjoyed it and wishing you the best. Thank you. Over to you, back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anis, for that wonderful evaluation. I'm sure our DAST Toastmaster Mahmood is all set for his next level. And what we hear in the chat is he was not able to say a word when he began, or he was hesitant during his icebreaker. That ice has been broken, bro. And you are the CEO, you are the DAST man. So it's really a lot of appreciation and a lot of vows for you. And Toastmaster Anis for pointing out. Next, I would like to call upon our next evaluator, who doesn't need any introduction, the man in the blue suit, Toastmaster Abraham Santosh, who would evaluate Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, who has completed his path. And after you do that, sir, I would like everyone to raise up and give a big standing ovation for Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, but that's after your evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Abraham Santosh.
General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and my speaker, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao in particular. Our destiny is not written for us, it is written by us. Oh, what a wonderful way to start off. How do you achieve your destiny? And he comes up with an answer himself, writing speeches. Every one of us sitting here would have thought, I have been part of writing that destiny, because all of us have written speeches in Toastmasters. What a wonderful way of connecting to the audience. It's a very comprehensive way of finalizing and completing a part. Very sincerely spoken, right from the heart, from the core. It will be very difficult to evaluate a 10 to 12 speech in 33 minutes time, but I'll try to do justice to it. Our speaker brought up right from the emotional lane, or down the lane, all the memory lane from the icebreaker speech onwards, how emotionally he was tied up, what the nervousness that we could all relate to that particular, and who pushed him. He particularly gave credit to Toastmaster Manjula, who pushed him into it and said, just do it, and tagged it to the Nike tagline. He moved forward and used I like the way he used the timing as criteria, and Toastmaster said, I tried using it with my spouse. I think I should try it too. You know, the green, red, and amber works well with our families too. And he's particularly quoted and focused on the difference between speaking and talking. Something very pertinent. Use very simple words, very receptive to all the audience, very clearly spoken. You know, and he spoke about services. Toastmasters is all about taking and giving services, empowering and being empowered. That was very clearly specified in his speech. And he gave credit to everybody who has helped him in the journey throughout the path. The ones who motivated him, ones who pacified him, ones who pushed him, ones who sat on his top, and everything. You know, he mentioned them by name. Kudos to you. In fact, and he ended up saying, start writing your own destiny. That's connecting back to where he started off. How do you write your destiny? That is a wonderful way. That's only an experienced speaker can end a speech connecting to the top. And all of all, it's very difficult to give improvements for such a comprehensive speech. But just to let me know, some things which I could recommend here is that being such a great speaker, and there were sort of personal incidents that you are brought into the speech. If you used a bit more of voice modulation, a little high and low, you're going to create a much more impact of expressing those. And you had the time because you had 12 minutes, you only used less 10 plus. And then some gestures could have been much more smarter. I have noted 3 particular events with the lack of time, just mentioning one. Start writing your destiny. You know, that impact would have been there if the gestures would have been much more sharper. And overall, The speech was speckless in many, many areas. A wonderful way to wrap up a path in all ways. Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, nothing and nobody can stop your destiny. Gallop ahead. Back to you, Mr. General. And let's now go ahead with the standing ovation, please. I don't know whether if you can stand. Yes.
We are seeing some stomach as well. I'll call upon the smiling face as usual and full of energy. He's only 14, Toastmaster Khalid Jalal, evaluate Toastmaster Arshiyan Bure.
Thank you very much once again, Mr. Evaluator. For a happy life, it is important to have a good health. And for a good health, it is important that we treat our body very well at all the time. And if you have to treat our body very well at all the time, we must give it enough coffee to be awake. Toastmaster Arshiyan, your address covered 3 sections about the caffeine: the origination of caffeine, the benefits and the damages or the negative impacts of caffeine on the human body. And you also left a message, a decision that we need to make for ourselves, that are we friendly to our body or we are doing injustice and harmful to our body. So that shows you really have touched and researched about your topic very well. And that's the whole aim of your project, which you have delivered today. This is a research and presentation project, which means you as a speaker must have done 2 things, a research and a presentation. Now, have you done a research on your topic? Let's talk about that. You mentioned the source of the information, you collected the information about your research, and you mentioned it is from the encyclopedia, where you talked about the origin of the caffeine or the coffee, the native leaf you referred to. And you also mentioned in your speech that you also researched and found out what the National Institute of Health from USA. They talked about the caffeine, that how it reduces the different diseases like Alzheimer. You also researched the effects of the caffeine on the health, where you have given some information about the headache, anxiety, and depression. These are all the negative impacts. So you talked about positive and negative impact. And you also talked about having less than 400 milliliters of coffee per day, that is 2 to 3 cups. So that actually numbers, statistics show that you have done a good research. So first part you have completed successfully. Now let's talk about the presenting part. Should you have used a PowerPoint presentation because research and presenting? Absolutely no. What you did is a verbal style of presentation, which is very good attempt which you have done. Your voice was very clear throughout the speech, so that means you have a good command on your voice modulation. The topic content was very much relevant to the audience today, and you knew most of the audience might be coffee lovers, so you brought this topic. So very well attempt of your topic as well. And you asked question at the start, who is a coffee lover? And you ask everyone to follow you by asking that question, which is a good technique of asking everyone's attention. What could have been done much better or slightly better? Could have moved a little bit behind the screen and shown your body gesture. That was missing throughout this demonstration. I could see your eyes movement here and there, but not your body movement. Overall, excellent research you have done, very well presented. Work on your body gestures and you will do much better in next speech. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Khalid. Mr. VP, do we have the poll ready?
Yes, Mr. General Evaluator, I will launch now for the best evaluator. Vote for the best.
Okay, if we are done, can we proceed to the next segment?
Yes, you can proceed. I think it's done now. And just 1 or 2. then we will have. Okay, you can proceed.
Toastmaster Shakil, would you like to give the timing report for the evaluations, please?
Yes, sure. Thank you, General Evaluator. The timing report is Toastmaster Anisur Rahman took 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Toastmaster Santosh Abraham, he took 3 minutes and 6 seconds. DTM Khalid Jalal took 3 minutes and 20 seconds. All of them are within time. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. That's the kindness and being thankful. That's the team that our TMOD selected today. So thank you once again, my tag team timer. Next, I would like to go upon our R counter, first time R counter, and a very energetic today, Toastmaster Ravi. You're muted. Toastmaster Ravi, you're muted.
Sorry, apologies. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator. The word of the day and the sound of the day is A. Toastmaster Mohammed Aladraj, he used that word A 20 times, which is stop, and one time, so one time. I mean, he repeated the word. And Toastmaster Ahmed Al Balooshi, he used the Toastmaster Ahmed Al Balooshi, he used the sound A is 8 times and 2 times, and he repeated 3 words. I was one time, I one time, which is one time. And timer Shakil, Toastmaster Shakil, he used the A 12 times, 3 times, one time, and so 2 times. Grammarian, he used the sound R one time, and A counter, I one time, which is me. This is during announcement. Grammarian correction. And Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, the A sound is 3 times and R is 1 time. Toastmaster Arshiyan, A is 2 times, is 1 time, and R is 1 time. And Khalid Jalal, Toastmaster DTM Khalid Jalal, he repeated the word the 1 time. And Raki Jain, he repeated the sound A 2 times. And Tawfiq Abdul Kadar, he is our general evaluator, he repeated the A 1 time and 1 time. Toastmaster Anish, 2 times. Toastmaster Santosh Abraham, 3 times. And Akbar Khan, 1 time. That's the end of the report.
Thank you. Big round of applause for Toastmaster Ravi. He was wide awake.
Very good.
You had a lot of coffee today.
Very good.
You didn't miss anything, including yourself. So I love it. Thank you very much. I'll keep the grammarian a little bit later because I also have to do a project on him on his active listening. So I will start with my report. It was a lovely 63rd meeting. And the first thing which I observed was the agenda. The agenda, what we have, we are in IT professionals. We're supposed to use Easy Speak. Our VPE took the effort of explaining the Easy Speak. So we would love everyone to go in there, check the agenda, take that agenda in PDF and share it rather than having this as manual. Because when I see this being circulated, it gives 2 things. One, since I'm a VPPR, I look at the brand perspective, the logo and the meeting name are quite closer to each other and they don't have breathing space. This is point number 1. Point number 2, I am mentioned as DTM and trust me, I'm not DTM yet. So that is another lag of using the manual stuff. So it would be better to go with the professional Easy Speak, which gives us the agenda and easier. When it comes to Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Mahmood Aladraj, he started on a little bit later, 3 minutes. But when he mentioned the club mission, he missed out a very important point, which is empowering our members. So I would love him to correct that in future. So we introduce it in our club mission that we empower our members. That was the one word missing. Rest, everything was perfect. When it comes to president, our president, as usual, is very dynamic. And I understand he has some personal things to take over. So he's doing multitasking, as what we saw even in our XCOM meeting today, or XCOM group rather. So there was one important point that we are having today 63rd meeting with BITP and Baloosh Toastmasters. I would appreciate that that can be taken into consideration, that when we have a meeting, we mention that at the beginning, and we do represent the Baloosh Toastmasters represented by DTM Khalid Jalal. He wasn't there, so it is fine, but we would have mentioned, it would have started off as a joint meeting. With related to introduction of speakers, evaluators, our Toastmaster of the day, big round of applause. Toastmaster Ahmed Al Balooshi made sure that he was on time, and he said, I'm at 9, I'm handing over. So you have another 2 minutes now, 9:25. Great. Everything was smooth, everything was entertaining, it was very receptive, and we were very active. Table topics master, when it went to, I would appreciate that future, whoever takes up this role, explains the importance of impromptu speaking, because that's what table topics is all about. It wasn't explained the way it's supposed to be done, and instructions were not clear. It's good to have PowerPoint presentation and numbers, but the number 1 was repeated and was mentioned on the chat as well, that is being technical error, and we don't have DAST into it. So better would be to have any table topics and clear mentioning of it. Important again for impromptu speaking in table topics is to cover the person who hasn't had a role. And unfortunately, you gave preference to people who already have roles, and they are our members too. So guests would have given preference. Unfortunately, they were not able to speak. Would appreciate given the chance, go further. They are taken into more consideration rather than our members being focused. Second, word of the day was not mentioned, receptive, when we were giving the table topics. So they are induced or advised to use the word of the day, which would be more beneficial for everybody. Speech evaluations were excellent. And I hope the speakers will definitely take into consideration when they come up next. For Toastmaster Arshiyan, just a recommendation, your camera. From day 1, we've been telling you your camera. Make sure your camera is adjusted. And if you don't like to have virtual background, just keep it off. It'll be more productive going forward. Rest of the speakers were excellent, and the evaluation they already got are considered enough that you will implement in your upcoming meetings. That's all my report. Grammarian, I hand over to you to evaluate again by me for your project.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. The word of the day, receptivity, used by Ahmed Balooshi 3 times, and Toastmaster Tawfiq used 1 time, Santosh Abraham used 3 times, Gangadhar used 2 times, Khalid Jalal used 1 time, Toastmaster Shakil used 2 times, and I really like it, the quotes which is mentioned by Toastmaster Gangadhar, just do it, the quote which I have noticed. I have noticed lots of the words, improve my vocabulary, crossing my limit, alert card, I improve a lot, speaking and talking, change the personal growth, office event, feedback, body language, listening, 1 year, too many years, how to connect, surprising champion, virtual life. Toastmaster talks about services, key value as a Toastmaster, receive services, outcome, biggest club, 70+ members, value of Toastmasters, value of Toastmaster essence, next goal, I want to be a next path in 6 months, brain, origin, 2 to 3 cups of coffee, lifelong consumption, anxiety, depression, relax, growth, organization, return, bias, destiny, right from the heart, emotional, just do it, speaking, talking. There are lots of vocabulary today I received while I'm listening and watching the words. those who have mentioned treat to our body, origin benefit, human message, DAST, vulnerability, assessment, web application, lovely 65th meeting. So with that, all our speaker use perfectly their language usage because we are professional. That's it from my side, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Well, I have already given my report. I would love to give back to the president, our president dynamic, with his ever-looking smile. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I will launch the poll.
Okay, I'll just take 1 minute for that. Okay. Just send me the name of this one. I have actually the result of the poll, except for the role player. If you just can you vote, please, so I can announce the winners. Although everyone is a winner over here, I believe that everyone over here now. I'm taking back as a TMOD. I'm giving back the control to the president, who is me also. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here with us tonight. It was a great night. It was a great event. I know many of you are busy with so many commitments and everything, but you showed that you are leaders and you are disciplined to your commitments. Okay, Asha and Kay. Just before I announce, I would like to hear from Asha and Kay. Ashna and Kay, and Ajmal, he left, huh? Ajmal,
he left him.
Okay, no problem. Bring him in for the next meeting. Ashna and Kay, if you want to say
Hello.
something. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Ashna. I'm actually Arshiyan's guest today. So this is the first time I'm a part of this session, and I really want to say that I enjoyed today's session a lot. Although I had connectivity issues and I kept disconnecting in between, but I really enjoyed today's session. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this session.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Ashna. Ashna, we would like to see you again over here with us. And of course, if Toastmaster Arshiyan, he invited you, please, as a member to the club, please.
Inshallah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ashna, for being with us tonight. And you will not regret it if you join us.
Inshallah. Actually, I'm not an IT professional. I was telling Arshiyan the same thing. I'm actually not an IT professional. I'm from a digital marketing background. But he told me that I can join as a guest and just see how it goes.
Well, do you know how to use a computer?
Yes, of course. I'm from a digital marketing background, so I spend almost my whole day.
He just mentioned digital. That's what IT person is all about.
Digital. Okay. When you say digital, you are with us. You are within the team. we would love. Come, please join us for our next meeting and see. I mean, how it will fit with you. If you think that joining us will help you, or you will support us. We will support you. It will be a good journey for you also. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And for your information, I am a mechanical engineer. You can join.
Yeah, great, fantastic. Now let me announce that because we are late by 1 minute. I wanted to close exactly at 9:30. Our winners, although everyone is a winner. So the best table topic is DTM Khalid Jalal. He left, I think, because he has some special circumstances with his kid. The best evaluator is Toastmaster Santosh Ibrahim, our IPP. And the best role player is Toastmaster Ravi, the accountant. Good job, Toastmaster Ravi. And the best speaker, of course, my soulmate, Toastmaster Gangadhar. With the closing of the pathway. And with that, I would like to call this meeting to close this meeting. Thank you very much. Exactly.
Thank you.